This is a 1942 Oliver 60 Standard, and they only made like 3,600 of these, so they weren't a real popular tractor. So parts specific to this are kind of hard to come by. But things like the radiator grill that's missing on this one, I don't think it's unique to this tractor. I think the row crop version will fit. So that's obviously one of the first things I need to find. It's also missing the side panels. Tires look to be good. Well, rear tires are good. They're not a match set, but one's a Goodyear and one's an Armstrong. And they don't seem to have much cracking on them. So this being a first-year model, it's a 4-speed. It's got a high-low range, but it's all in one shift lever. So forward is one range, and then you bring it back, and the back section is another range. Here's a shot of the engine. That's a Waukesha 120 cubic inch engine. Overhead valve. And I don't know if I can get a good shot of the tag, but that says 410074. So this is, I think, the 74th 60 Standard that was made. My goal today is to get this tractor running. The coil is gone. Well, there's a coil there in the box, but I don't know if it works. So I have to put a coil on it. Probably clean the points. Stick a battery on it. And the alternator, I don't know what that's out of, but it's obviously not from this tractor. So I'll need to find a generator at some point to fit in, because the alternator, actually the oil filter too, they both stick out further than where the side panels will go. But yeah, my goal is to get this thing running today. How hard can that be, right? Before I go too far, I'm going to check the oil and just see what it looks like in there. Wow, that's very over full. Full is to this mark here, and the oil level is up to about here. So I don't know if it's just a couple of quarts of condensation in there. I'm going to crack the drain plug and see what's going on. Yep, there's some water. Actually, that looks like antifreeze. That's not good. That could mean that the liner seals are leaking. Oh, that's be a bother. Yep, It's antifreeze, all right. Eh. Well, that is nowhere near a couple of quarts worth. I guess I don't know what else is in there. Maybe just more water. Yeah, there's more water. Guess I just have to let it drain slow. I jacked up the front a little bit to get all the water to the back of the crankcase. And I think I'm just going to, at this point, drain out all the oil. There is a lot of sludge in the bottom of that pan. At least a quarter-inch thick, I can feel. And I'm going to try to get a wire, stick a wire in there and try to scrape some of that junk out. Yeah, that's just gross. Got a thick piece of wire. I bent an end on it. See if anything can come out. Yummy. Consistency of thin peanut butter. Oh, doesn't get much better than this. Looks like I got the majority of the chunks out. Over on the side here, I found some more. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna call it quits. It's at least better than it was. I put some used engine oil in the crankcase just to, I didn't want to waste new oil because I'm going to be changing this oil fairly soon after I get the engine running. So I've got a 6-volt battery on there. Positive ground, I hooked up positive ground. And let's just see if the engine turns over. That's probably not fast enough to start it. Come on, buddy. So, what's getting hot? Anything? Yes, that one. Ouchie. Cable going from the starter up to the starter switch is very hot. So that means it's a loose connection up in there. I took the spark plugs out so I could just turn the engine over faster. Here's the oil line from the engine block to the pressure gauge. And it looks like it's plastic and it's dripping, so it's got a hole here. Leaking right there, squirting out. That might explain things. Well, it's about a half hour later, and when I was messing around with this little plastic hose, I noticed it had quite a big split. Where is it? There it is. So it's, I don't know if I can hold it steady enough, but about a 1/2 inch long split lengthwise along the hose there. There it is. There it is. Anyway, had to cut that off. I did get the 2 ferrules off and then moved to the 2 new ends. So I will now put this in and see if it doesn't leak. Let's hope. At some point I'm going to have to replace this with a copper line, but I don't want to do that just yet. Now let's see if we can build some oil pressure. Maybe the gauge doesn't work either. Oil is coming out. It's going up ever so slightly, like up to 4 psi. Maybe it's just not spinning fast enough. Next thing I'm going to do is check the points. Cap looks very little use on it. Points have green crusties growing on them. See if I can zoom in there. Can you focus? Pull the points out, and this is a very classic case of corrosion on the points. It just starts growing fuzz on it, and those need to be cleaned to be able to work right. So I'll clean them up and we should be pretty much ready to go once I get a coil in here. I have cleaned the points and put them in. I hooked up a coil. I now have a 12-volt battery instead of a 6-volt. Turns it over much better. And I'm going to use the little jar of gasoline there to just squirt in the carburetor. First try. Let's see if it starts. found a problem with the terminal on the coil. So I tightened it up and I think we're good to go now. It runs. It runs. Now to fix the gas tank. Took me a while to clean out the sediment bowl. It had a clog in it. So after I got that cleaned out, I think we have gas flowing to the carburetor. And earlier it ran, so we'll see if it runs on the fuel in the tank.